How you doing? It's your boy, the Hispanic American, and today I am in a completely different setting. And I do like to think that if you're smarter than a fifth grader, you could actually see everything that's going on. For example, you could tell that the left and the right are both different groups of people that want to take over the world. They just got a different agenda. Okay? They basically say, okay, we're going to use immigration and a bunch of minority problems and all this to take over the world through radicalizing people and making them think and act how we want. While the other side is like, well, we are actually going to use that same thing, but we're going to use it in the opposite way. We don't want migration, and we want patriots and America first. And while one side wants to act like a group of blood cells when somebody disagrees with their ideology and the way they think, they treat that person like it's a foreigner and they're a bunch of white blood cells and they need to attack it and destroy it and just any single way. It's, if you're not part of the group in the left, if you're not part of the group, if you don't agree, you're not part of the group. You gotta agree, even if it doesn't make sense. Or if not, we'll completely destroy you. Completely. You and your family. That's how they be acting, bro. And then the other side, it's already been predetermined who is part of the group. You gotta be a patriot. You gotta be a freedom lover and an American. And you gotta be like, so they're both two different ideologies, but ideology is the same. For groups that are only looking out for themselves, because we're talking about you're supporting rich benefit people either way. You're supporting a bunch of people that are already in the top, and now they are using the American public and the world, for all we know, to conquer the world. And all these people tend to be people that are not affected by us fighting amongst each other. They just come out, they say what they gotta say, so everybody gets riled up like bees, and then they bounce, bro, back to their mansion, back to their yacht, back to their jet, and they're all rich, bro. Some of them are richer than others, but they're all rich and benefit. More benefit than all of us that are fighting within each other, because that's in design. It's designed to make you're easier to control when you're divided. It's just the more divisions through color, flags, beliefs, where you stand on the side of the street, how you look, you're easier to control. They divide you to take away your power more and more and more. And people just get played, bro. They follow into absolutely everything they want them to do, but they're not out there doing it. They want you to do it. They want your dumb ass to go out there and do all the stuff they want you to do, but they're not willing to do it themselves. No, that's not true. Now, while one side gets too crazy, which we're talking about the left, they lost the plot, bro. They're getting extremely crazy, out of hand. They get so crazy that they actually make everybody go to the right and look over there and says, nah, man, no matter what we do, it's not as crazy as that. And that's exactly what the leaders in the right want, because they say, good, now we can do everything we want and it won't look as crazy as that. Even if it's a little crazy, we could get away with it because you'll agree, because we brainwashed you to just agree with what we tell you to do. While the other side still has the same thing. They're brainwashed to do what they want them to do with their own agenda. But one way or another, one group creates extreme other group. They just counterbalance each other, creating, you go to extreme over here, we're going to go to extreme over here. And it's just, but we could all agree that one side is extremely, super out of, they're crazy. To the point where nothing this side does looks crazy. But it is because that's why I like standing in the middle and looking both ways, because everybody's playing you. That's politics. That's politics. That's how you do. But I'm not a politician. So why the hell are you going to take me serious? I'm just a random dude in the internet. Once again, I don't know nothing. I'm just theorizing and using my smarter than a fifth grader mind. Maybe. But I like to think. And some groups, they'll destroy you if you think too much. But I like my freedoms and I like to think. Now, let's just in theory say that people are being played on both sides, because in one side they want to rule the world with a different idea, and this side wants to rule the world with just their own idea. It's like two groups of Illuminati versus the New World Order type of, like, they both want the same thing, but they got different tools and methods. So people are just playing into their game. They're acting exactly how they want them to do, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to fight amongst each other and get killed, while these people are up in their penthouses, okay, with their females and party life and not being affected. Let the poor fight amongst each other, and we all know that then people get arrested or deported or whatever. The prison system was designed in such a way, the judges, the prison system, everything was designed in a way to make it for the poor. Rich people could buy a jail out of free card. You really had to really mess up and have people against you if you're rich to get into prison. Like, you literally, the prison system is made for the poor. All this has been made for the poor. And now we're talking about the police officers who protect the people. They're right in the middle. Right in the middle of this, okay? So these police officers they're not being treated very nice. These are people that decided to make their life and career to protect, to serve and protect. We know all police officers aren't good. We'll talk about that in a minute, okay? I'm just saying, in theory, everything that the left is doing is working for the right, and everything that the right is doing is working for them, for the left. And then in the middle, you have all these police officers. So with two extremes right here, you can see that the extreme right, they get brainwashed with their own ideology and their own fellowship and way of patriotism and fighting for freedom, while the other side has their own extremes fighting for their own reasons and their own extremes, even if they're just doing as they're told. Both sides are doing as they're told. They're being played. They're doing as they're told by the manipulators all the way in the top. We probably never even seen them. And right in the middle, we have the police officers, the people that are here to protect, serve and protect, the people who volunteered their life and risk their life every single day. And the crazy thing is that now they got civilians spitting on them, throwing rocks at them, and calling them traitors. These people, this group of police officers, it's gonna turn into their own extreme group. And guess what their extreme is gonna be? They're gonna be extreme against hating the civilian. Because the civilian people that they decided to serve and protect are the ones that are treating them like shit. So now they're going to create their own groups of people that are extreme in their own right and go against the civilian people. So if there just so happens to be a dictator one day, in theory, already he has a perfect army that already hates civilians, and it's ready to go and put power for the police state and a new world order. It's all part of the plan, and everybody's just getting played. Really makes you think. Now, you shouldn't listen to me and take me serious, because this might be a parody. This might be a joke. And this, just don't, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's very interesting.